as a community have overcome immense challenges, and together you are healing and teaching the world as you go.
Now y'all gotta get hitched, but hitching ties you down. You just wanna be free, hop from place to place. But freedom takes green. It's the green, it's the green, it's the green you need. And when I looked into your future, it's the green that I seen. On you, little man, I don't wanna waste much time. You've been pushed around all your life. You've been pushed around by your mother and your sister and your brother. And if you was married, you'd be pushed around by your wife. But in your future, the you I see is exactly the man you always wanted to be. Shake my hand. Come on, boys. Won't you shake a poor sinner's hand?
Robert Johnson is considered one of the greatest blues artists of all time.
It's the template for what became rock and roll. I believe Robert Johnson was extremely talented, extremely gifted, and way off balance. Something's spinning strangely in that man's life. Robert was a novice guitar player, not very good.
This man was a nobody.
And then he disappears. A year and a half later, he's doing things with the guitar that even his mentors can't do. How could Robert possibly have gotten that good that fast?
The myth goes, Robert went to a crossroads, got down on his knees, handed his guitar to the devil. The devil said, once you receive this guitar back, your soul is mine.
If you do make a deal with the devil, you're gonna have to pay the price.
It ended up costing him, the bill coming due.
He let his arrogance go too far.
We all have to choose how much we can sacrifice in order to achieve greatness.
Yes. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Transformation Central. Transformation Central. Reformation Central. Reformation Central. Transmogrification Central. Can you feel it? You're changing, you're changing, you're changing, all right. I hope you're satisfied. But if you ain't, don't blame me. You can blame my friends on the other side. You got what you wanted. What you lost, what you
It's a beautiful day for a joust.
Indeed. Sun's out. Got my lucky loincloth cold Bud Light, comfy throne. I don't have the plague anymore.
Look, it's the Bud Light. Dilly dilly!
You, hold my beer. You, hold my other beer. Whoops. One more. All right, let's tap this keg. Giddy up, Peanut!
And you as individuals are people of substance, of resilience, of strength, and of heart.
Trump did, and this is the good bit, he did at least tell Prince Harry not to worry. He's not going to do what a lot of people have wanted him to do and throw Prince Harry out of the US because of his admitted history of drug use, which is an immigration no-no. You can't do that. He said, and this is where he then spoiled it, I don't want to do that. I'll leave him alone. He's got enough problems with his wife. She's terrible. Now, Harry's now hit back with a little speech at the Invictus Games, seeming to reference Trump.
At this moment, when there is no shortage of crises, no absence of uncertainty, no lack of weak moral character in the world,
weak moral character. Look, it was very brutal of Donald Trump, wasn't it? Or did you find it entertaining?
I can tell you now, the whole of Britain was laughing. It was probably the funniest thing I've ever on social media and in mainstream media as well, which laps it up. Unfortunately, many people didn't seem to disagree. I mean, I don't know if you saw Meghan's impromptu speech at the Invictus Games, where she wasn't planning on speaking, but somehow managed to talk people's ears off. But, you know, many people in this country just have the sense that, like, Harry is not very intelligent and he's being led like a dog wagging its tail by his very American, very headstrong wife.
Winky's back.
This guy's gonna make waves, Sarge. Aggravated assault, battery, burglary. I mean, grand theft, suspected gang affiliation. Santa Cruz now.
What do you expect? I told you. He was crazy bad.
A unified body of individuals living together within a greater society, adjoined by a common policy, unified ownership, common character, and participation. A joint social state or condition. This is an amazing definition.
I am not afraid out there. I am afraid in here. I will do it myself, and I'll mess up. Look, if we're together, you can teach me. It's my destiny.
Who did I interview? Who did I interrogate? I'm a straight cop doing my job. Because of me, we're closing in.
Just take it easy. Nice and easy now.
I'm beginning to think you're a little crazy, is it? And you don't have enough bullets in those pretty guns for all my people, do you?
What is it that is so common? Is it common that I live amongst the majority of illegal immigrants? Is it common that I cannot converse with my neighbor because he or she doesn't speak the same language as me, the language of my country? I mean, is it common that I must live gated and locked away so that the transients and homeless will not sequester my possessions or invade my grounds and hurt my family? Is that a shared policy that encircles our community? No, it's not. It's not my policy.
Haven't you learned anything? Can't you see the writing is on the wall? Don't you love me? Don't you want to start a new life together?
You're not less than. You're just lost.
Look, you should leave it alone. Let sleeping dogs lie.
I feel something bad is gonna happen. Oh, I'm scared.
Everybody invades and hides in all the rooms and crevices, but when there's a problem, they run and they abandon what was never theirs in the first place. That's not a community. That's a $29 motel. That's a hiding place.
What precinct are you from, son?
This one?
You are, of course,
was wondering why I brought you here tonight.
Actually, sir, after all these years, I just sort of go with it.
Take my arm. Harry, I'd like you to meet Professor Horace Slughorn.
What you see before you is a curious little potion. It does cause powerful infatuation or obsession.
I'm in love with her. All right, fine, you're in love with her. Have you ever actually met her? No. Can you introduce me?
This year, the past holds a dark secret.
What you are looking at are memories. This is the most important memory I've collected.
Now get out of here at once!
It is also a lie.
And only he...
You're the chosen one, Harry.
...can unlock the truth.
Hey, she's only interested in you because she thinks you're the chosen one.
But I am the chosen one.
Cletus, get after him! I haven't got either! Nobody's got a gun around here! Freeze! All right, let's get your guns and get after him! All right, you got yours! Come on, get him after him! Stop him, please! Get him back here!
Now it's time for a little segment we like to call Only in America. Well, in previous weeks, we've gone as far afield as Uganda for this segment, so let's this week stick a little closer to home, shall we? You've heard of the Dukes of Hazzard? Well, check out the Dukes of MAGA.
Just a good old boy, never meaning no harm. Beats all you never saw, been in trouble with the law since the day they was born. Straightening the curves, flattening the hills. Someday the mountain might get 'em, but the law never will.
Will the defendant please stand? Kempton Bunton, you were charged that on the 21st of March 1961, you stole from the National Gallery a priceless portrait of the Duke of Wellington by Francisco José de Goya.
Not very good, is it?
We're convinced that the Goya has been stolen by a highly professional, international criminal gang.
Mind your boomers!
Almost certainly a trained commando.
You all right? Bit of biscuit. One problem.
What's that?
Your mother. I can explain.
I'm shaken.
It's the shock.
Shock, yes, I'm shocked. There's a stolen masterpiece in my wardrobe.
What's he actually asking for? £140,000. For what? Charity.
Good grief.
I'm living with a madman.
I'm tackling social injustice. I'm like Robin Hood.
Meantime, we have some news just out from Robinhood, the trading platform launching derivative contracts that allow users to bet on the outcomes of elections. So it's now moved to Robinhood 2. This includes next week's presidential race. The new investment product will begin rolling out to a limited number of users. It starts literally at 8 a.m. today. So if you're a Robinhood customer and you want to bet on the election, you can potentially begin to do that if you're part of the group.
I'm going to vote blue. Vote for who you want. This is a free dictatorship.
Customers must be U.S. citizens. They must apply and then meet certain criteria to be approved for a derivatives account.
You're an idiot.
The taxpayer paid for that betting. They could have given thousands to war widows and pensioners. It's for the greater good of mankind.
Mankind? What about your own kind? How long will you get?
I don't know. 10 years.
You could have told me. We could have dealt with it together.
You married young.
I had to marry.
I had to marry.
It was love.
He is not a thief. He borrowed your Goya to do a bit of good in this world. You campaign for pensioners and war veterans.
Every time someone gets cut off from the rest of us, this country comes a foot shorter. All my life I've looked out for other people and got into trouble for it. But I had faith. Not in God, but in people.
How do you plead?
Not guilty.
For those unfamiliar with court proceedings, that was the plea, not the verdict.
General Robert E. Lee led the Confederate forces during America's deadliest and most divisive war. Despite numerous victories on the battlefield, he ultimately bowed to overwhelming odds.
Robert E. Lee was one of the greatest generals in world history. He ranks with Alexander, Hannibal, Napoleon.
Napoleon, Alexander the Great, Donald Trump. We're all cut from the same cloth.
Frederick the Great. He did, in fact, in many instances, more with less than all of those people did.
Robert E. Lee was born in Virginia on January 19, 1807, to an aristocratic Virginia family. He graduated from the U.S. Military Academy at West Point and married Mary Custis, the great-granddaughter of Martha Washington.
Once the Mexican War began, he was assigned to Winfield Scott's staff and served with great distinction there.
As a result of his exploits during the Mexican War, Lee was considered one of the most courageous, intelligent, and daring officers in the Army at the time.
After the war, Lee served as superintendent of West Point until 1855, when he left to take a cavalry position in Texas. In 1859, he was ordered to put down John Brown's slave rebellion at Harper's Ferry.
He may disavow them all he likes, but Donald Trump's allure to racist is rearing its ugly head in these final days of this contentious campaign. Last night, a mob scene in New Orleans after the former KKK leader and current U.S. Senate candidate squeaked into a debate on a black college campus. David Duke is one of Donald Trump's biggest and least welcomed fans in Louisiana. Duke is barely getting 5% in the polls, but it was enough to get him on a debate stage and voice his admiration for Donald Trump.
I will be Donald Trump's most loyal advocate to make sure his nominees go to the Supreme Court.
Mark Potok with the Southern Poverty Law Center says racist groups of the past have gotten new life, like it or not.
Hey, sorry. Kidding.
From Warner Brothers Pictures. Without this memory, we leave the fate of our world to chance. You must not fail.
You need us, Harry.
Fight back, you coward!
Now, of course, again, this was a necessary comment from Trump, but he's who he is. He's giving us entertainment, even if it's not necessarily very highbrow. And unfortunately, Harry has no comebacks. This is a couple that said that they wanted their privacy and then did everything in their power to not get their privacy. I can't imagine anything that shatters their privacy more than the leader of the United States calling your wife terrible, which is it's just hilarious. Who can deny that?
You have the heart of Invictus. You are ready. The Hague is ready. We are all ready to enjoy a fantastic week of sport.
You might have heard about Armageddon, but let's break down what it's really about, especially from Revelation 16, verse 16. So here's the deal. The Bible says all these kings from around the world are going to gather at this place called Armageddon. Now, why would they do that? What's the purpose? It's not for a peace conference or anything like that. Nope. The real reason? They're preparing for battle. And not just any battle. This is the big one. The final showdown against God himself. You got the dragon, the beast, and the false prophet. They're all sending out these evil spirits to get the kings riled up, convincing them to march to Armageddon. They think they can go toe-to-toe with God. Pretty intense, right? But that's what Revelation 16 verse 16 is talking about. It's a setup for the ultimate battle between good and evil. So next time you hear about Armageddon, remember, it's about this massive gathering, all for a final fight against God. But here's the thing. We already know who's going to win.
In 1943, Disney produced a short cartoon called To Führer's Face, where Donald Duck was portrayed as a Nazi living in poor conditions in Germany and working in a weapons factory. Fortunately, it was all just a dream. To Führer's Face became the first and only Donald Duck cartoon to win an Oscar.
Wenn der Führer says, wie ist der Master Race?
The Heil! Heil! Right in the Führer's face. Not to love the Führer is a great disgrace. So the Heil! Heil! Right in the Führer's face. Then Herr Goebbels says we own the world in space. The Heil! Heil! Right in Herr Goebbels' face. Then Herr Göring says they'll never bomb this place. The Heil! Heil! Right in Herr Göring's face. Is we not the Superman? Arian Pura Superman?
You know, there are elections that come and go. Some elections are, you know, important, some are not. But this one this one really mattered. And I just want to say thank you for making it happen. Thank you. My heart goes out to you. It is thanks to you that the future of civilization is assured.
Yahweh is the Superman. Super duper Superman. Is this Nazi land so good? Would you leave it if you could? Yeah, this Nazi land is good. We would leave it if we could. We bring the world new order. Heil Hitler's world new order. Everyone a foreign race will love the Führer's face when we bring to the world disorder.
Invictus, are you ready?
When I gave the word, now in the morning I sleep alone. Sweep the streets I used to own. I used to roll the dice, feel the fear in my enemy's eyes. Listen as the crowd would sing. Now the old king is dead, long live the king. 1 minute I held the key, next the walls were closed on me, and I discovered that my castle stand upon pillars of salt and pillars of sand. I hear Jerusalem bells are ringing, Roman cavalry choirs are singing.
Are we winning?
No.
See, it's so small from back here, I can't really tell.
Look! It's the Bud Knight.
It's the Bud Knight. We're saved.
Yes.
Dilly dilly!
Time to do what must be done. I did it.
Hey, Bud Knight, aren't you gonna fight with us?
Oh, a buddy of mine is having this 30th birthday thing.
Oh, yeah, well, that's understandable.
Hey, if you survive, come by.
Probably won't happen, but you know, whatever.
Yeah, that's true. You know what? Watch this.
Wow, somebody likes attention.
Here's to the friends you can always count on.
1 minute I held the key, next the walls were closed on me, and I discovered that my castle stand upon pillars of salt and pillars of sand. I hear Jerusalem bells are ringing, Roman cavalry choirs are singing.
He had come, he said, as a pilgrim from Rome, passing through the west gate of Westminster Abbey into a place where history, tradition and religion had flowed seamlessly through the centuries. Benedict XVI, the first pope to set foot inside Westminster Abbey since worship began here in the 10th century.
Le 15 avril 2019, un feu exceptionnel. Everything burned. L'incendie, mais qui va nous servir pour rebâtir la flèche.
And today, the first pope to shake the hand of a clergywoman. The solemnity of this day was not lost on a pontiff who found himself at the very centre of both church and state. A place where English monarchs have been crowned since 1066. And then one moment rich in symbolism. At the tomb of Edward the Confessor, the Holy Father from Rome joined the spiritual leader of the Anglican Church, kneeling in prayer together amid the incense.
This is Pepe the Frog. Looks innocent enough, right? Well, according to the Anti-Defamation League, he's a hate symbol. So how did this odd-looking cartoon join the ranks of the swastika and the burning cross? Pepe started out as a mellow, stoner roommate in the indie comic Boys Club by Matt Fury. The lovable character's goofy face made him a hit on forums like 4chan and Reddit. You got Smug Pepe and Feels Good Man Pepe, not to mention Batman Pepe and Che Guevara Pepe. Pretty soon, Pepe started showing up all over the place. It got so big that even Nicki Minaj and Katy Perry were posting Pepe memes. The original fans did not like seeing Pepe go mainstream, so they started a campaign to reclaim him. The idea was to mix Pepe with all kinds of racist imagery. One guy even told the media they built the association with Nazis on purpose so that, quote, normies would stay away. That version of Pepe took off big time. Nowadays, you often see him decked out in Nazi uniforms or KKK hoods. Members of the alt-right use him to harass people. So how did all this get mixed up with the US election? Trump's advisor and his son shared this image. The deplorables. That refers to a comment Hillary Clinton made about Trump's supporters. Now, there's no way to know if the Trump campaign was aware of Pepe's status, but the Clinton campaign was quick to respond. They posted this explainer to their site. They also pointed out that Trump himself once tweeted the image. So, what does Pepe's creator make of all of this? We talked to Matt Fury, and he's pretty upset about the whole hate symbol listings thing. He says Pepe means a lot of different things to a lot of different people.
It's a really popular meme internationally. It's really popular in China and Australia and all over the world, and used to kind of encapsulate a lot of different emotions. I don't think the alt-right has the power to be able to reclaim them for their own. I think Pepe as a meme and Pepe as kind of a symbol for youth culture and internet culture and stuff kind of transcends what's going on right now in American politics.
The evening star is shining bright, so make a wish and hold on tight. There's magic in the air tonight, and anything can happen.
I don't seem to recall anything in the fairy tale about kissing on the lips.
It looks like this court takes some time. Ooh, that's a catchy title right there.
Dreams do come true in New Orleans.
I mean, I didn't even know frogs had lips. How about a nice firm handshake?
President Trump, who attended Fordham, a Jesuit university, came face to face today with the first Jesuit pope. The rest is history.
E poi c'è un grido di dolore che più di tutti risuona e che sta tramutando il mare nostrum in mare mortum. Le Père, le Fils, Saint-Esprit.
A scene unimaginable in centuries of religious division.
Hold before all men and women the challenge and the promise of your righteousness. In the name of Jesus, our servant and our King.
Heal all divisions among Christians, that we may rejoice in the perfect unity of your church and move together as one to eternal life in your kingdom.
Earlier in the courtyard of Lambeth Palace, the official residence of the Archbishop of Canterbury, there was genuine warmth in their greeting. Rowan Williams had met the Pope 4 times before in Rome, but never before had a Pope been invited to the palace. All was going well, and a thumbs up from a papal aide. Outside, the crowds were gathering in the political and religious heart of the capital. The Pope was now running late, and at Westminster Hall the great and the good were having to wait. But in a day dominated by talk of Christian unity and understanding, two men found it in their hearts to re-engage. Tony Blair and Gordon Brown, face to face for the first time since the general election. In Westminster Hall, the Holy Father was on hallowed ground. It was within these walls that Sir Thomas More was tried and condemned to death, one of the first martyrs of the Reformation, Benedict said to be inspired by this English saint. And the Pope saved the most powerful message of this visit for his most powerful audience. Two Houses of Parliament, leaders of the clergy and the government, and all four of Britain's surviving prime ministers. His quietly spoken words couldn't soften the hard edge to his message.
Religion, in other words, is not a problem for legislators to solve, but a vital contributor to the national conversation. In this light, I cannot but voice my concern at the increasing marginalization of religion, particularly of Christianity, that is taking place in some quarters, even in nations which place a great emphasis on tolerance.
In Westminster Abbey, the congregation broke into spontaneous applause. At the end of the service, both Pope and Archbishop appeared to share a common delight in a day that had focused on what binds the two churches together, not what's divided them for so many centuries. Peter Sharp, Sky News.
Ladies and gentlemen, the national anthem of the Holy See, followed by the national anthem of the United States.
Simply put, this country and this world benefit from your commitment to Jesuit principles, to being men.
As a graduate of another great Jesuit institution, Xavier University, I have great affection for the value and purpose of a Jesuit education.
923. Clearly, he's leaving us a code.
Gaius Octavius, better known as Augustus Caesar, was born into nobility on September 23, 63 BC, although he never recognized the title of emperor. Augustus Caesar was the first of the ruling Julio-Claudian dynasty to reign in Rome. Before Augustus's centralization of power, Rome was ruled by a series of suffects, but Augustus changed that entire system, becoming the sole ruler.
It is my great honor to address the National Catholic Prayer Breakfast. I want to thank my good friend, Leonard Leo, and the board members of this wonderful breakfast, as well as, of course, the Knights of Columbus. And congratulations to Attorney General Bill Barr, special man, on receiving the annual award. I also want to express my deep gratitude to every person who prays for me and for the First Lady and for our country. We love our country. There's no country like it. I grew up next to a Catholic church in Queens, New York, and I saw how much incredible work the Catholic Church did for our community. These are amazing people. These are great, great people.
His family, the Julians, gave birth to some of the greatest tyrants the world had ever seen, including the merciless Caligula and the mentally insane Nero. Members of the Julio-Claudian dynasty believed themselves to be descendants of another race from the Dawn Star, also known as the Venus. Members of this dynasty were so convinced that they descended from this otherworldly race that they would actually dress up as the goddess Venus. Even the ruthless Caligula would cross-dress and put on women's garbs that made him look like a goddess.
Catholics of all backgrounds share the love of Christ with the most vulnerable as they care for the elderly, the homeless, and neighbors in need. Our nation is strong because of Catholics and all people of faith. We believe in the joy of family, the blessing of freedom, and the dignity of work, and the eternal truth that every child, born and unborn, is made in the holy image of God. I will always protect the vital role of religion and prayer in American society, and I will always defend the sacred right to life. Today I am announcing that I will be signing the Born Alive Executive Order to ensure that all precious babies born alive, no matter their circumstances, receive the medical care that they deserve. This is our sacrosanct moral duty. We are also increasing federal funding for the neonatal research to ensure that every child has the very best chance to thrive and to grow. Melania and I recently visited the shrine of St. John Paul II, a man who had such a profound impact on our country and the world. It was an incredible visit. On his first visit to the United States, he concluded his visit to a Catholic parish in Harlem with these words: "Let the good news of Christ radiate from your hearts, and the peace that he alone gives remain forever in your souls." We are very grateful for the millions of Catholics across America who live by these beautiful words and bring hope and joy and light and grace to the world. Thank you, God bless you, and God bless America. And please take good care of Bill Barr. He's very important to all of us.
Okay, let's go.
In 9 hours and 23 minutes, you'll be mine.
I have been researching the 923 code because it is significant with the birthing of Jupiter 9/23/2017. He's the king of the gods and represents the Antichrist in a way. But 923 also represents 14, and we know that Osiris was cut up into 14 pieces from his brother Set, who is also the brother of Horus. So this code is really a code that has been broken down with many things, and most of all, it's been broken down with unity, because what they want to do is put the pieces of Osiris back together again, just like in our last show. Isis is representing the moon, Osiris represents the sun, and she wants to put all the pieces of Osiris back together again.
Flammas eius, Lucifer matutinus inveniat. Ille inquam Lucifer qui nescito casum, Christus filius tuus, qui regressus ab inferis, humano generis serenus iluxit, et tecum vivit et regnat in saecula saeculorum.
And important for our peoples. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
I like him a lot.
Agent Dunham, I need immediate evac. 923 Church Street. There's a device on the 47th floor. Nicely done.
Good performance.
By 923, the water of life shall proceed forth from the throne of the Lamb.
out of the night that covers me.
Black as a pit from pole to pole.
I thank whatever gods may be.
For my unconquerable soul.
In the foul clutch of circumstance,
I have not winced, nor cried aloud.
Under the bludgeonings of chance.
My head is bloody,
but unbowed. Beyond this place
of wrath and tears,
looms but the horror of the shade,
and yet the menace of the years.
Finds and shall find me unafraid. It matters not how straight the gate,
how charged with punishments the scroll.
I am the master of my fate.
I am the captain of my soul.
I am Invictus.
Hey, Prince Harry, remember when you told us to bring it at the Invictus Games?
Careful what you wish for.
Boom. Oh, really? Please.
Boom.
So come on and diggity yourself before you wreck yourself. Check.
It's the historic moment everyone's buzzing about. Melania Trump meeting Prince Harry for the first time. And Inside Edition was right there. Melania wore a smart checkered pantsuit for her first official solo trip as First Lady.
Boom. I continue to be much more concerned when it comes to our security with the prospect of a nuclear weapon going off in Manhattan.
It matters not how straight the gate, how charged the punishment, the scroll. I am the master of my fate. I am the captain of my soul. What a magnificent soul it was.
Careful what you wish for.
Invictus, everywhere you find it associated with bombings, war, and the maiming of human beings. Even the Invictus Games themselves are for our wounded warriors, wounded in war, no doubt by bombs. I am unconquered. The statement of defiance, rebellion, witchcraft. The poem itself seems as a declaration by Satan himself. The author, William Ernest Henley, required amputation due to complications arising from tuberculosis. Immediately after the amputation, he was told that his other leg would require a similar procedure. While recovering in the infirmary, he was moved to write the verses that became Invictus.
I bomb atomically, Socrates' philosophies and hypotheses. Can't define how I be dropping these mockeries.
Boom.
I bomb atomically, Socrates' philosophies and hypotheses. Can't define how I be dropping these mockeries.
Published in 1888, the last verse in the poem is charged with defiance towards the Christian God of the Bible. It matters not how straight the gate. An obvious reference to, enter ye in at the strait gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go in thereat.
Allow us to escape hell, glow spinning bomb, pocket full of shells out the sky, golden arms.
So in order to save this planet, I had to trick it with the greatest practical joke in human history.
Really? Please.
Boom.
Killing millions.
To save billions. A necessary crime.
Obama quoted Nelson Mandela's favourite poem, Invictus, in his speech at Mandela's funeral. It is interesting to note that the Church of Satan also uses Invictus to illustrate its own ideals. In the book, The Church of Satan, A History of the World's Most Notorious Religion, Invictus is used in the book as the opening epigraph. Chapter 6, Satan's Master Plan. LaVey affirms his commitment to destroy Christianity and herd mentality in all forms. It presents the 5-point program of satanic goals to change the world. Chapter 4, What Demons Conjured. Chapter 3, The Modern Prometheus. Chapter 2, Diabolical Consequences. Chapter 1, Let the Games Begin.
The Invictus Games has shown us what can be achieved when wounded, injured and sick servicemen and women rediscover their fighting spirit through sport. In London and again Orlando, we came away moved by the tales of courage that got each competitor through their rehabilitation to the start line of their chosen sport. Tens of thousands of people packed stadiums and millions more watched at home. We were all inspired. We've raised the bar high with each successive games, and I know that Toronto are planning an incredible event when they host the Games in September. And I'm happy to say the Invictus Games journey won't end there. But where should the Games go next? Well, we had 3 criteria. First, it had to be an iconic city, somewhere known the world over. Second, it needed to be a city with a proud military heritage, which would welcome competitors from all over the world with open arms. And finally, we wanted to go somewhere where they are absolutely sports mad and would really get behind our competitors. It was an easy decision, really. The 2018 Invictus Games are coming to Sydney.
If it's Sydney, mate, you're going to need one of these.
Thanks, mate.
Good decision.
It's all good. Sorry, Dad. Oh, it's Kylie. Hey. Hi, Kylie. Good timing. The 2018 Invictus Games are coming to Sydney. Can I guarantee the Aussies are going to bring it?
Hey Prince Harry, listen, we're stoked the Invictus Games are coming to Sydney, but you don't need to tell the Aussies to bring it. It's guaranteed. No worries.
Sydney, it's on. Someone press the button, guys.
Darkness, my old friend, I've come to talk with you again, because a vision softly creeping left its seeds while I was sleeping, and the vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sound of silence. In restless dreams I walked alone, narrow streets of cobblestone, neath the halo of a street lamp, I turned my collar to the cold and damp. When my eyes were stabbed by the flash of a neon light that split the night and touched the sound of silence, and in the naked light I saw 10,000 people, maybe more. People talking without speaking. People hearing without listening. People writing songs that voices voices never share, and no one dare disturb the sound of silence. Fool, said I, you do not know. Silence like a cancer grows. Hear my words that I might teach you. Take my arms that I might reach you. But my words like silent raindrops fell and echoed in the wells of silence. And the people bowed and prayed to the neon god they made, and the sign flashed out its warning in the words that it was forming. And the sign said the words of the prophets are written on the subway walls and tenement halls, and whispered in the sound of silence.
trust in me.
Figures. Well played. That was some risk.
So, what are you doing with the rest of your life?
Catching up on some me time, find God.
There'll be time in my life, so many trials, tribulation on every side.